Hi, it's Elise here at Bowman Library with a whole new middle grade book spotlight. So we are continuing our alphabet title series. So last time we started with part 1. We did letters, what was it? A through G. This time we're picking up with part 2, or actually no, we're starting with G. This is G through L. So it was A through F the last one. So sorry about that, but I promise we do have a G because the one that we're going to start with is one of my all-time favorites. So we are continuing through our alphabet, G through L this time. Let's get started because we have some amazing titles. There's a little something for everyone. We got some nonfiction, we got some graphic novels, we got some new books, we got some historical fiction books, we got some fantasy. Oh yeah, a little bit something for everyone. So let's get started with G with one of my favorites. Before she wrote Hunger Games, Suzanne Collins wrote this amazing series, Gregor the Overlander, okay? So, it's the summer, and 11-year-old Gregor is forced to babysit his 2-year-old sister, Boots. Now, when Boots crawls into an air vent in the laundry room, there's a puff and a wisp of smoke, and then she is gone. Gregor climbs in after her to find her, and he finds himself in this world that is filled with fear, danger, giant bats, rats, cockroaches, as well as some very interesting individuals. Now, they inform him that his arrival has been prophesied, it's been predicted, that he may be the Overlander who has come to save them from the war rats and restore their kingdom. Gregor thinks they are all insane, but when he learns that his missing father may be trapped by these rats, he decides that he is going to become their reluctant hero. This creative fantasy adventure will have you cheering for Gregor and his new friends and his allies. Again, an amazing story. I'm not even that big of a fantasy reader. I could not yet put these down. There are 5 books in the series. This is book 1, Gregor the Overlander. Another awesome one, because I love me a good nonfiction. This is a good nonfiction. This is like creepy stuff. How they croaked. Okay, so if you are interested in learning about how people in history have died, this is the book for you. Filled with 19 people throughout history, from starting with King Tut. You will learn how they met their demise, as well as what we know about them today. Now, if you love your history with a side of grossness, you will not want to put this one down. Some of the people, how they died, is kind of like, it's kind of crazy. But everything from Pocahontas to Albert Einstein to Charles Dickens to James Garfield, he has a very interesting story. There's also a really good nonfiction book called Ambush, all about that. Yeah. If you love nonfiction, you like random facts, how they croaked. Invisible Emmy. So part of the Emmy and Friends graphic novel series, we meet 7th grader Emmy. She's quiet, shy, she just wants to spend time with her best friend Brianna, and she's just, again, trying to get through middle school at this point. Where she finds her happy place, though, is in her notebook, where she doodles, she gets creative, and she writes down all of her secrets, including her crushes. At the same time, though, as we are learning and experiencing life with Emmy, we also meet this girl, Katie, who is kind of the opposite of Emmy in a lot of different ways, including with her personality. And we get to follow her through the same day at middle school that Emmy is going through. And you may not be sure where this story is going at first, but when Emmy's notebook is dropped and it is found by the class clown, Emmy gets more than she bargained for, as well as possibly making a new friend who comes to her defense. Sorry about that. If you enjoy a good, realistic, friendship-filled graphic novel, this and the others in this series are must-reads for you. This is Invisible Emmy. Jake the Fake keeps it real. So entering 6th grade, Jake gets moved to a new school called the Music and Art Academy. Not only is his sister a senior there and this incredibly talented genius, but Jake also kind of got in by mistake when he faked playing the piano and singing an original song. So he's basically at a music school and he has 0 music knowledge or ability. Trying to fit in, he has a hard time making friends, doing the assignments, and always wondering when he is going to get caught and kicked out of the school and sent back to the school where he came from. He soon starts to figure out, though, that he might have some talent and comedy, and decides sorry, and decides maybe that's what he wants to do. But it may not be as easy as what he thinks it is. You find yourself laughing out loud at all the crazy things that happen and how Jake reacts to the very different situations he finds himself in. Written by the incredible comedian Craig Robinson. You know you're going to be in for a humorous adventure and treat, even if you don't like music. This is Jake the Fake Keeps It Real. Kelsey Murphy in the Academy for the Unbreakable Arts. So this is the first in a brand new series. Book 2 is not even out yet, okay? It's slated to come out, okay? It has a publication date, but this is book 1, okay? We meet Kelsey Murphy, who is currently living in Boston. She's in the foster care system, but she would rather much be honing her magical powers at the Academy for Unbreakable Arts. But she doesn't even know the first thing about getting there, where it is. She just has heard it's existed. But she's instead stuck going to school on a field trip to the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, okay? But it is when she is on that field trip, she is kidnapped. She's taken underground, and she meets up with her case manager, which is completely random. But she finds out that this case manager is taking her to the Academy for Unbreakable Arts. Because not only does Kelsey have magic powers, she's also a fairy. And she may hold the key to being able to save her homeland. That is what the Academy of Unbreakable Arts is going to train her to do. They're just going to train her to fight, to hone her magical powers. But when she gets there, Kelsey soon learns that there is a lot more to navigate, including family drama, den drama, girl drama, magic drama, and it's not just all about powers. So incorporating aspects of Celtic mythology, if you love a good story of good versus evil, complete with those magical elements, this is going to be the series for you. This is Kelsey Murphy in the Academy for the Unbreakable Arts. And our last one for tonight is Lines of Courage. Okay, so I loved this book. Okay, love this author, incredible historical fiction author. And what I loved about this one, and we'll get into this a little bit here in a second, is it takes place during World War I, which for me personally, in my opinion, is a war that doesn't get the book coverage of World War II. But it was just as important, and it needs to be shared. And that is what this book does. So in this historical fiction book about World War I, it brings us 5 different points of view. So we have 5 different characters, and they're all impacted in different ways by what's known as the Great War. Now, each one of our characters, they come from a different empire or country which is involved in this conflict. And they all have different backgrounds. Eventually, though, in the 5 years that this story covers, all of their paths will cross and intersect in some way. And most of the time, it's going to be in ways they never imagined or could have thought of, but they are going to be necessary if they are going to survive through this conflict. This is an incredible story about a war that doesn't get the book space that it deserves. Jennifer Nielsen, the author, she does not shy away from the gritty realities of war, but it will also open your eyes to how everyone across the globe was impacted. There wasn't a part of the world that wasn't, especially during and the after. Within the 5 years this story has been covered. Highly recommend this one, even if you don't know anything about World War I. It's an incredible story. You will walk away with so much more of an appreciation. And like me, I love a historical fiction book that leads me to research more. That is what this book will do. This is Lines of Courage. So this is just some of our titles here at the library for part 2 of our alphabet, G through L. So come on out, check out these. Or maybe you're doing your own alphabet challenge. Maybe you need some help finding some titles, an author's name, character's name, a setting, a place, anything like that. Anything you're looking for, come on out to the library. We are here to help you find whatever that perfect book you're looking for. I hope you have an incredible week, and I hope you tune back next time when we have a whole new middle grade book spotlight, which would be part 3 of our alphabet. Have a great week.